Hello everyone, this is Kevin Song from Xiaomi, a mobile phone and IoT device manufacturer in China. In today's rapid development of smart home and smart life, and the device manufacturer, we are committed to offer the global user innovative IoT products. At the same time, you don't need to be anxious about the product security and privacy right. Since Xiaomi's establishment 11 years ago, Xiaomi has continuously explored and practiced the best practice in security and privacy. Today, I will talk about the IoT Security Framework and also the adoption practice in Xiaomi. And first, please allow me to have a brief introduction of myself. Now I'm the head of security and privacy compliance in Xiaomi, responsible for the cybersecurity, the mobile phone security, and IoT product security. In today's smart life, besides the product security, we pay the same attention to privacy issues. So that's why I joined and operate a local privacy professional community in China, the IAPP 99 chapter in China. As a security professional, I earned a lot of known certifications, including the CISSP and also the CISA, the Certified Security Auditors, and also the ISO 27000 lead auditors. As an engineer, for years engineer, I have the hands-on engineer knowledge about the physical or the checkpoint devices. Today's topic, I will cover 4 parts. The first is the brief introduction of Xiaomi and also our relationship with the IoTSF. The second part is about the governance module and the international company. Also, we cross the the mobile phone IoT, and also we have the e-commerce website. So inside we need the governance model to run the security process. The third part is about the unified technology. The governance model is essential, but without the technology, you could not enforce in the engineering process the area, because we have so many engineers. They run the different technical process and also their products. The fourth part is about the security compliance. There I will show how we get so many the security certification and other achievements. You may know Xiaomi by our smartphones. Now our phone ranks the number 2 globally in the smartphone market share. At the same time, we are running the global leading consumer IoT products, the platform, because we have more than 374 million devices are connected in our platform, in our cloud. You could control the 100 different smart devices by your mobile apps or smart voice assistant. Both the voice assistant we call Xiaomi and also our mobile app has a big number of active users. Here, if you have more than 5 devices connected with your apps, we call it Xiaomi fans or Xiaomi active users. That's above 7 million. That's a lot of the Xiaomi users. We call it customer users. For years, to leverage the best practice, we learned the IoTSF. Then we joined the corporate membership in 2019. And since then, Xiaomi had a strong relationship with IoTSF. And also, I will attend the annual conference every year. The picture you show that I go to the conference in London in 2019, and also I take the pictures. The first part is that I will talk about the governance module. And the IoTSF published the first version of IoT Security Compliance Framework since 2017. Then the global manufacturers and also the device operators are actively to customize the different requirements, including the IoTSF, the framework, to their internal practice, because we need the internal requirement to embed with their development life cycles. Here, Xiaomi with the reference of IoTSF framework. So we build up our own internal governance model, and also which I will talk about the unified technology, so that we can enforce that in our engineering process. Xiaomi prioritized the security at the beginning. Here are some key milestones. Actually, we established the information security team early in 2012. That's just because just after 2 years, Xiaomi founded. We are still a new company, but we set up a security team. And then we set up the IoT Security Labs to test the IoT device since 2015. That time, we are pioneers, at least in China, because we have dedicated team focused on the IoT security. And also we held the annual IoT Security Conference in China since 2017. And then we held annually until now. And also a month later, in December, I will have another one for 2021. Through the conference, we encourage the security researcher to test Xiaomi device and also our partners, especially the OEM manufacturers, to learn the best practice, to know the security requirements so that they can follow in their designing. This year, Xiaomi, we call it Xiaomi Home App. That's about where you control all the different kind of devices, and also our secure camera. In the United Kingdom, we call it BISI Cat Mark certification, which is the IoT assurance program and certification. Compared with the software security, hardware security is more difficult for its complicated supply chain. Usually, we need to outsource the manufacturer to different vendors, not design and manufacture in the same company. So that's why the standard or the framework is essential for IoT manufacturers. Here, to identify the risk, we integrate the security and privacy requirement to corporate develops process. Because no matter small or big company, you have a lot of engineers to do the development, to do the coding. That's why when we want to add some security requirements, we need to integrate with their own current process. So by the develops process, we enforce the security requirement by the threat modeling and penetration test. Before the product launch, we need to finish our launch. The security team has the vote, we can deny the device to go to market. Of course, after the device online or go to market, we run the security bug bounty program so that we can identify the security vulnerability in advance, and then we can release the patch and security notice online. Here is the product security framework. Here we develop our security and privacy framework. On the left, you can see the IoT device security. We have 4-layer design, including the sensor layer, the network layer, cloud server layer, and the mobile app layer. Actually, we spend the most time here. On the right is about the privacy protection, because Xiaomi is manufacturing the consumer device, your home camera, your scooter, your wearables, the Fitbit or the smartwatch. That's why the personal information will be stored and processed in that device. So we need to pay more attention to the privacy features. Technically here, we will focus on the user key management, authentication between the user device and our cloud infrastructure, and also the communication between the cloud. That means all the data will be synced to the cloud, but the user needed to access the data through the mobile app. So we need to assure the authentication, and also we need to encrypt, because when you are transmit the data from the cloud to the device, we need to keep the tunnel encrypted. And the bottom is the corporate security functions, which offer the basis of a whole security framework. That's why you could not build up only IoT security team as a lab there, but that needs the whole corporate security support so that you can run the disclosure program, the bug bounty program, and also to check the supply chain. Because if you are only the tech team, you could not do the vendors management. So that's the whole framework. To interpret the different security requirements, including we just mentioned the IoTSF, they have their compliance framework, and also the carriers or the channels will require the manufacturer to realize their designing features and also security requirements. So Xiaomi and also our ecosystem partners, we need to develop the device specification so that when we manufacture a device, for example, the secure camera, we need to assure that the camera can meet different compliance requirements, including the different country, their security department, the sensors have their baseline requirement, and also the carrier has their onboarding requirements. So, and the manufacturer, we need to meet different requirements. So that's why we published the cybersecurity baseline for consumer IoT device last year in November 2020. This baseline is intended to help the domestic IoT manufacturers, that means in China, Chinese manufacturer, have a convenient and practical security guide when they design or developing IoT products. In Xiaomi, the baseline also serves as the standard for the onboarding acceptance. We test the device. If they meet the baseline, we just accept or just approve the onboarding process. Of course, even though we test the device before they launch, but we could not sure in the future because they do the update each quarter or at least each year. So we need to fund the security bugs in advance. So we published the bug bounty program. Actually, in China, that's in 2014. And also for the international researchers, we published the program since 2019 from the HackerOne. So if you are a security researcher, you can buy the IoT device from Xiaomi and test to find our device vulnerabilities. You could submit your findings to our security portal or email us. If you are foreigners, international researchers, you can just submit the finding on HackerOne. Internally, we have established the triage and disclosure process. We will issue the CVE numbers, release the security patch, and publish the security anniversary online. The governance module and the feasible process is a must for each company, especially for the multinational companies, because we have the long process, but the unified technology and tools are essential for the requirements to be enforced across different departments or partners. In Xiaomi, we rely on unified hardware, unified software, and also the unified platform to enforce our baseline requirement, because I just talked about our baseline. The first is the hardware. We have the secure chip, because secure chip is the cornerstone of IoT devices. It stores the root key, and also the chip will verify software signatures. Meanwhile, Xiaomi simplifies the difference between the various IoT devices using the unified communication module, the hardware module, and also the unified SDK, that means the software code, so that the developer and also our partners can easily use the same communication module and also the software module to finish their design and coding of new device. For example, the camera and the vacuum cleaner, maybe they share the same communication, no matter the Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, Mesh Zigbee. Actually, we offer the same module and also with the SDK. So even though we have hundreds of different modules and different categories, but we are facing the same attack surface because they are using the same communication module and the software. We also have some unified security solutions in software because we are running the IoT devices. Usually they have the battery supported by battery, and also their chip, the CPU is weak compared with the mobile phone. That's why we developed the machine learning, the mobile computing engine. It's called maximise. That's to support the low power scenario of mobile phone and of course the IoT devices. The Xiaomi developed the AI framework. We call it maximise macros for the IoT, and also make it open source to GitHub in 2020. You can find more. You can search the maximise macro in GitHub. You can find the coding. It actually has forward advantage compared with the TensorFlow, this kind of a framework. They are more high performance, low energy consumption, and also easy cross-platform migration because usually for the IoT devices, the CPU, GPU is a little different, and also the developer friendly because IoT devices usually they will just realize the very simple and easy function, not very complicated. So we need to develop some friendly UI, and also the input output be much simpler. Another example in software is that we call it Xiaomi Vela. Xiaomi Vela is another showcase for the lightweight, scalable operating system that designed for the low power consumption scenarios. It's mainly used in our smart home devices, like the home sensor or the scales. And also works for the wearables, the Fitbit, and also the smartwatch. Vela framework is customized based on the NetX kernels. Xiaomi enriched the application API and also the supporting tools. NetX to provide on the right picture, you can see that NetX provide the basic functions and the kernel, including the task scheduling, file system, IP protocols, and also the power management. The API, which could be regarded as the software middleware, the collection of the libraries, utilities, and also to support the IoT applications. Because when we integrate, manufacture different, for example, the cameras, actually we have different modules from the lower end to the high end. So actually we can develop some functions from the application API so that no matter is expensive or low price, actually you share the same API. So simple the designing and the deployment. Another one I want to mention is that developer tools not only provide the IDE or the PC simulator tools, but also we provide a complete auto testing framework to ensure that the OS or the application can have high quality submitted through the CI/CD process because our engineer are managing I thought that more than 100 category and thousands of different modules running on our production. So we need to simplify the process. What's more, the debugging tools actually are the weakness of the traditional RTOS, not only NetX. All kinds of RTOS is simple, but they don't have a lot of debugging features. So we allocate a lot of resources to engineers to develop the new logging tools and also the debugging tools so that when you design a new product, you can know what's wrong. The last unified thing technology is the platform. Xiaomi IoT platform provides a unified, including the security solution for developers to access so that you can easily develop your product and also meet our security baseline. For example, the firmware signature solutions that provide the OTA update modules, including the signature verification to ensure the integrity of firmware. If you are a developer, you don't need to worry about that. And also the storage encryption solution provides a unified API, which could be accessed for the sensitive information. We need to assure the storage of the, such as the picture or also the video in the storage, they need to be encrypted, not in clear text, because that's so sensitive for the user or the customers. Just we talk about the unified technology, including the hardware, software, and also our unified platform. Here I want to talk about the showcase. It's about our secure camera. Now let's see how this unified platform are applied to one specific product. For the camera, we have the IP camera firmware security specification, which is integrated to the development manuals, so that for the developer, they don't need to know a lot about security. They just follow the manual and also the production function module related security solution will be integrated for the manufacturer so that we can assure different vendor, different OEM manufacturer of Xiaomi, our partner, will follow the same process. Even not only for partners, even for our own engineer, we need to simplify the process so that they will follow the same standard. Now let me see how the security camera apply the security features and also our security design, how we assure that the security baseline applied in the process, designing process. The secure camera, we use the secure chip and the secure boot mechanism to assure that only official software loaded in the OTA, to avoid that malicious firmware be installed in the hardware. And also user could access the video stream conveniently by their mobile apps. So we use the technology to assure the security and the integrity of the stream. First, the secure chip will ensure the security of the encryption key. Every time that when you trigger your mobile apps, trigger the command to access the video, so we need to assure the encryption key only share between the cloud and your device. So here we prevent the signature attackers from getting the negotiation key through the hardware channel sniffing. For the network configuration, is also the weaker stage because when the device boots, they need to get all the configuration from the cloud. So here we verify the cloud and also the device. And also in the streaming, when you replay the video, the real-time video streaming through the app is sensitive information. So we develop the streaming SDK to assure that different camera modules share the same security mechanism, and also they will provide a unified real-time streaming encryption. Why we develop just talk about the specification for the camera, because Xiaomi offering the low end to the high end. I think that we have more than different modules, the secure camera. The last, we talk about all our security compliance and privacy compliance achievements in last years, in several years. To conform with the top international standards and also the best practice, Xiaomi spent a lot of efforts to gain the security and privacy certification for various products and services. This year, the Xiaomi app and secure camera just received the BSI cat mark certification, which undergone the penetration test and security audit for the backend systems. The IoT cat mark means that our products, especially our IoT products, are compliant with the best practice, including the European IoT security standard. Xiaomi believes that the transparency will build the trust. So we published the Xiaomi IoT privacy white paper just this year in June 2021. It illustrates the data collection and usage for our hot sale IoT products, including the secure camera, router, the router, and also the robot vacuum cleaners for feedback. You could access the white paper in our Trust Center portals, very detailed description. Today, I introduced the adoption of the security baseline and also the best practice in our real production. And also, I mentioned our baseline, a white paper. You could find all these documents in our Trust Center portal. I recommend you to download the paper and learn more about Xiaomi's effort in IoT security. Xiaomi with innovation for everyone. Thanks for your time.